Noah here from American Trucks. I don't know about you, but I sure do spend a lot of time in my truck, and spending long periods of time in any vehicle can really be absolutely terrible without some creature comforts, and definitely one of the downfalls of lots of trucks these days is the lack of radio control and usability. Now, infotainment offers some incredible upgrades to solve those problems, like this Infotainment Factory 7SP GPS navigation 8.4-inch radio without the GPS navigation upgrade for the 13 to 17 Ram 1500. Now, if you're looking to have a top-notch screen radio upgrade that fits like factory, then this guy from Infotainment will really be a perfect choice for you. This radio is a serious upgrade over the stock unit. We are looking at a beautiful 8.4-inch full color capacitive touchscreen that takes up the entirety of the radio area. And there's also this bezel that comes with the radio that surrounds it, which makes it look like it came from the factory with that upgrade. And another really cool thing about this guy is that it does adapt to your climate control system, so you can control things like your air conditioning right from the radio as well, which is a neat touch. But just the icing on the cake is that you will still retain the steering wheel controls, which is something you don't often see with a lot of the cheaper radio upgrades. You can also use hands-free calling, and if your truck isn't equipped with a microphone, Infotainment offers a mic kit as well, and things like backup camera kits and the GPS antenna kit. All in all, this really could be the last radio upgrade your truck will ever need. So as far as construction goes, the housing is made from high quality alloy. It will never rust or corrode, and then that trim bezel that comes with the radio is made from automotive grade plastic that looks like factory material and matches the rest of the dash around the radio. And there's also a 90-day warranty just in case you encounter a manufacturing defect upon install. Coming in around $1,300, this is a fairly expensive upgrade in terms of radio replacement. However, I will say that lots of other options don't have nearly as many features and creature comforts as this unit. And I really do think that the price is still worth what you get, especially when you think about the retention of all the factory controls. And this really is just about as OEM plus as an upgraded radio can get, which I think is a great thing to be shopping for. Installing the radio upgrade is going to be seriously simple. Everything is plug and play, and all adapter harnesses and bezels come with the kit. Now, coming in at 2 out of 3 wrenches, the difficulty of this install is going to be a little higher than other mods, just because anything dash related is very delicate and sometimes can be a pain, especially when you throw wiring into the mix of any kind. Now, you can count on spending about an hour on this installation, and with some patience, I'm sure you can knock it out of the park. Now, without any further ado, here is an AT customer who's gonna walk you through the process step by step.
So before you begin, you're gonna wanna grab a couple tools. You're gonna need a T20 Torx, a Phillips, and a wedge. So that's pretty much it. You could also use a 7mm socket, but in this case I believe I could just use the Phillips. Hey guys, today we're going to be installing this 8.4 RA3 radio. We're going to be replacing the old RA2, and it's pretty much plug and play, so let's get started. Okay, here is the old radio. This is the old RA2, I believe, and we're going to upgrade it to the RA3 8.4-inch navigation. Let's see, so for starters, let me take this little guy off. Then right up here, you're going to have 2 little screws. You're going to have to remove the mat. There's a little rubber mat in here, okay? And you're gonna have 2 little screws where you're gonna use your T20 Torx. Now on some models, there is another screw in here, which I do not believe this one has. Take a better look. So this one does not have it. So it's already got the T20 bit in here. I'm gonna remove these. So with those removed, all you have to do is just use both hands and pull backwards, and you might have to pull a little harder, but all it is clipped in, so you're not going to break anything. So just pull on that and the clips come free. All right, now right in here, as you can see, you got 3 little plugs that we're going to pull out right here. Just push in the little clips, and then you've got this plug here. You're going to slide the red tab up, tab that slides up and pulls. All right, set that aside. All right, so actually my other RAM has the option for the 7mm or the Phillips. This one is Phillips, so I'm sorry, this is 7mm, so I'm going to use my 7mm socket to remove the radio. Okay, I have my 7mm socket, and we're gonna go to work. Sometimes if they're really tight, you just give it a little snug, a little tighter, and for some reason it helps break them. It's a trick that I used to do when I build engines. That one was a little easier. And last one. There we go, nice and easy. There we go, now it should just pull right on out. Okay, so right here, same thing. You got a couple little things clicked in here. You've got your antenna, your Sirius XM, your I believe that's one of them is for the GPS, they say. And we're pulling them all out. And the radio just flips right on up. Right here, there we go. It was a little stiff, but all you have to do is push on this and here, and it flips right up. But this one was a little stiff coming out. But that's okay, it all came out. Now that we have the radio out, what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna swap bezels. So this stock bezel is gonna have to go, because with the new bezel, the radio controls are gonna change, all right? And then we're gonna add one of those climate modules. So let's get to the next part and let's show you how to take the bezel off. Okay, so this is what the inside of the bezel looks like. So what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna take out the little screws that hold the bezel in, okay? Once we get all those removed, we can pull the bezel off and replace it with the new bezel. This is a new bezel right here. All right, so let's get started. Okay. So, I guess these two come off as well. A little clip up top. There we go. Slides out. Okay. And then we're going to grab our new bezel and let's go and just slide it right in the way the other one slid out. So we line that up. There we go. So that's all nice and lined up. Now let's put the screws back in. So, start at the bottom here. Also, if you're not going to use a Phillips, if you're going to use a drill like I'm using, you're going to want it on the low setting so you don't strip anything or break any of these plastic pieces. These plastic pieces can sometimes be pretty brittle. So you want to take it very lightly if you're going to use a screw gun. Now remember, a lot of people think that when you tighten things down, it's got to be super tight. And that's really not the case. You just want it snug. Almost done here. Okay. One more. All right. So that is done. So this part's done. So for the next step, you're going to want to use the bezel and the climate controller. So this climate controller is going to snap onto the side inside the dash. I'll show you where. And we're going to attach this harness to it. All right, well, here's the part where we're going to use that wedge I showed you earlier. You can probably pick this up at any auto parts store. All right, real cheap. Let me show you what we're gonna do here. Okay, right here is where you're gonna want to use your wedge. All right, here's the wedge. We are gonna slide it right in here, and just like the radio, this will just pop off. Real easy. Alright, so right in here is where we're going to install your climate control box that was provided with the radio. And pull this down, a little clip right here, slide that, take that off, then you're going to squeeze the ends of the box, which is going to bring this down, and you can pull your glove box right out. All right, so now we have access to inside here. Climate control comes with 2 screws. We're going to use these 2 screws right here to mount on the inside. Here's the wire harness we're going to use on the climate control. Okay. So this side's going to go to the radio, and this side is going to go to the climate control box. And this box is only going to use one of these. It's going to use this guy right here. So I'm going to actually plug it in before I bolt it on, so we don't have to fight with that. Let's see. Let's get this guy up in here. There we go. So we'll take our 2 screws. Actually, it looks like you don't have to pull the screws all the way out. They're actually made to slide in. So I'm going to put this one back in here. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so for this one, it's way in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my 7mm wrench, and I'll just wrench that down real quick. Okay. All right, so that's in there nice and snug. Now that you're done with that, what you're going to want to do is run the cord through the inside up into the radio, and then later on you can come back and you can zip tie or you can tuck it in. But for now, I'm just going to run this to the front and then we'll continue the video. Here we go. Pop that back into place. Make sure that we got everything in the right spot. So when you're doing this, pay attention to the bottom. And then right here, you're gonna wanna come in behind everything it was behind before. Like the molding. There we go. All right. So it's behind the molding. It's behind the kick pad. Let's pop it back in. Real simple. All right. So now we're back into position 1 here. Okay. So the first thing we're going to want to do is put the new radio in before the bezel. So let's get that out. All right. So all your factory plugs will plug right into this. You also see they are color coded, so you can't mix them up. All right, so everything's color coded, so you cannot mix it up, so don't worry about that. The first thing we're going to put in is the harness. So let's get the harness in. It's the opposite way on this one. So it's opposite on this one compared to the other radio. That's just fine. And all the way. Okay, it's all secure. So that guy's secure. Now let's plug in the rest of the connectors. They are color coordinated, so you cannot mix them up. Not to mention they are different type of adapter styles. So even if you couldn't tell the difference in the coloring, you still can't mix them up. All right, so that's all plugged in and ready to go. So, put this back. Just start the thread on one of them. Okay. And then I'm going to start the thread on this bottom one. And we're going to tighten it up. Again, you're not going to want to crank down on these. You're just going to want to make them snug. It's never good if you're cranking down on these. Unless you've got a torque spec, you don't want to over tighten something like this. Okay, that's all nice and snug. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to plug in the AC controls. So, before we do that, we're going to plug in the climate control unit right here. So here's our climate control unit. This is the one that we just plugged in. This is the old one. So we're going to put these two together. Put those two together, and the new plug is going to be this one. So this is the new plug that's going to go into the bezel. All right, so let's get that plugged in. Okay, so that's the three, and then we've got this one up top here. Put this guy in. All right, that's it. So, let's take the plastic off the radio first, and do not lose your anti-theft code, because you are going to need that. Let's take that off. Now this is just going to pop back on the way it popped off. So all right. So let's see if this baby works. There we go. This is gonna take about 30 seconds right here. All right, here you're gonna use your anti-theft code. All right, another 30 seconds. All right, here we go. All right, that's it.
That was the Infotainment Factory 7SP GPS navigation 8.4-inch radio without GPS navigation upgrade for the 13 to 17 Ram 1500. For all things Ram, remember to keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.